So I have some mixed emotions right now. Now, full transparency, I did not watch this entire game. I only watched the first period. So I basically, literally have no notes for the second or third period. And as I mentioned, I have some mixed emotions at the moment. So Saturday, October 25th, the Sens played their ninth game of the regular season against the Washington Capitals. It was a road game, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern start time. It was Linus Ullmark in net for the Sens and Charlie Lindgren in net for the Capitals. So the Sens were 3-4-1 coming in, and the Capitals were 6-2 coming in. Keep that in mind. Um, so the only lineup note, it's kind of the same thing again. Brady Tkachuk still out with his thumb injury, and Spence once again was not playing. Now, had to make sure I made a note of this. So, Ovechkin coming into this game was sitting at 899 career goals, and I thought for sure he was gonna get it tonight. Spoiler alert, he did not. So kind of a good thing. Kind of happy about that. I mean, I love Ovechkin, obviously, but I don't want him to get it against the Sens, obviously, right? And tonight was also his 1500th career game, so I thought, okay, well, he's definitely going to get it tonight. But, are you kidding me? Like, okay, dude, I don't know how to feel right now because the Senators win 7-1. 7-1 in the only game I don't watch this season. Because if you're wondering what I'm wearing, I am wearing my red Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Blue Jays jersey. The Blue Jays lost 5-1 in game 2 of the World Series. That's why I'm kind of like I have mixed emotions right now. So it's like but it's like again, I only saw the first period tonight. I didn't watch the second or third period, so I don't have any notes at all for the second or third period. So, um, just wow. Like, just wow. I don't even know. I don't even know. I literally don't even know what to say. Like, I'm ecstatic for the win, obviously, but I'm disappointed because of the Blue Jays losing. So again, it's like mixed emotions, right? But of course, I will talk about what I did see, and we'll break down the game, and I'll give just my opinions on what was a wild game tonight. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and break down this blowout victory by the Sens. Again, just mixed emotions, right? Because, like, obviously I'm ecstatic for the Sens' huge victory tonight, but I'm disappointed because of the Blue Jays loss. So it's like, um, now before I get into the stats here, there is one thing I want to point out. The Washington Capitals coming into this game tonight, they had played 8 games and they had given up a total of 14 goals. 14 goals allowed in 8 games coming into tonight. That is less than 2 per game. The Sens scored 7. Go figure. The first game, the only game so far in the season, the only full game that I didn't watch, and this happens. Like, and there's also that part too. It's like I'm disappointed that I missed everything, but I knew this was coming though, right? Because I did mention in a previous video that um, I probably wouldn't be watching full Sens games during the World Series, but of course, the first game, it just looks insane looking at this. Like I'm not, I wow, just wow. So again, we'll get into the stats, and I do have some notes for the first period because I did watch the first period, but I saw like little bits and pieces of the second and third, but not really a lot because of the World Series. So we'll go ahead and break down the game here. We'll break down the stats. So the Ottawa Senators with a dominating performance, 7-1 over the Washington Capitals, and they are now 500. They are 4-4-1, and the Capitals dropped to 6-3. So like the Capitals had a strong record coming in. Like it's not like they did this against a bottom team. You know what I mean? Like just insane. Like this is crazy. And you look at the stats too, which we're gonna get into. So the shots, 34-13 for Ottawa. 13. That's nuts. Like, it crazy. I can't get over it just looking at these numbers. And again, I didn't watch the whole game, so I can't really give my thoughts on a lot of things that happen, but just look at these numbers. Face-off dot, once again, the Sens dominate 61% compared to 39% for the Capitals. And the power play, 3 for 4 for Ottawa. And Washington was 0 for 2. So you'll love to see a perfect penalty kill if you're a Sens fan. So just dominant special teams tonight. So penalty minutes were 16-12 with the Sens having the fewest. Hits were 28-12 in favor of the Capitals. Block shots 23-11 in favor of the Sens. And giveaways were 14-12 with the Capitals having the fewest. Takeaways were 8-3 in favor of the Sens. So these two teams will not meet again until next year. New Year's Day to be exact, January 1st in Ottawa. Wow, just I know I keep saying it's crazy, but this is crazy. Like, dude, 7-1 over. Again, this is not like a bottom team like the 6-2 coming in. Washington was, and as I mentioned that stat earlier, Washington had only allowed 14 goals in 8 games coming into tonight, which is less than 2 per game, and they scored 7 on them tonight on the road. So that's, man, oh man, I can't get over this. Like, so again, we'll break down the notes that I have. I do have notes for the first period, but again, I don't have anything for the second and third because I didn't really watch it. There's a couple things here and there that I'll point out, but I'll go ahead and break down what I saw in the first period. And oddly enough, I have more notes for the first period than I normally do. So maybe it's just like a mental thing, like knowing, okay, I'm not going to see the second and third period, so I'll take more notes in the first period. But I do have quite a bit here for the first. So there was a pass to Giroux all alone up front. Lindgren was down and out. Giroux was all alone. He actually didn't end up getting a shot there. So that was a good chance that didn't end up going in. So David Perron goes to dump the puck in, and he actually hits Matt Roy in the face. This was a scary incident, so there was a trail of blood. Roy would end up getting up on his own, skating up or off the ice on his own, and he would come back to the game, thankfully, but that was a very scary incident. There was a long delay there because they had to clean up the ice, so yeah, really good to see that Matt Roy is okay. He did return to the game, and as far as I know, he's okay. So that's good news, of course. So Zub would slide the puck, not really a slap pass, just like a pass into the slot, and Dylan Cousins would end up deflecting it into the net for the 1-0 lead for the Senators. So that goal would come at the 1:58 mark of the first period, and the Sens take a 1-0 lead. Very early into the game, and this was their first shot of the game too, actually. So just like, okay, like it felt weird because it's like I've been so used to the Sens allowing the first goal, but they scored first. They actually scored first. Just the second time this season they have done that. So Dylan Cousins scoring that goal, his 5th of the season from Artem Zub and David Perron, and the Sens go up 1-0 nice and early. So good way to start, right? So there was a holding penalty on Matt and Paulo, and I thought there should have been an offside before that penalty. Personally, it looked close to offside. Maybe it wasn't. Ovechkin had a chance all alone. This was on the power play, of course. So yeah, Ovechkin had a chance all alone, and he would take it to the backhand, and he missed a wide open net. Like, as soon as he got that puck, I'm thinking, yep, here comes number 900, but nope, he would actually end up taking to the backhand, and he would miss the wide open net. He actually hit the outside of the net on that play there, so that was a close call. The Sens definitely got away with one there. So Dylan Strome would fall. He had kind of toe picked a little bit, and he slid and crashed into the boards, I should say. So he was down for a bit, and he got up, got off the ice, and he came back. And to my knowledge, I think he's okay as well. So a couple of scary incidents here involving Capitals players, but again, to my knowledge, I do believe that Matt Roy and Dylan Strome are both okay. And there was nothing like malicious going on with this play. Dylan Strome. I almost said Dylan Cousins. Strome went down and he kind of got tangled up with one of his players, crashed into the boards. And yeah, he was a little slow getting up, but he did end up skating off the ice with help from his teammates, and he would return to the game. And again, as far as I know, he's okay still, so that's obviously good to see. You never want to see anyone get hurt, no matter who it is or what team it is, so definitely good news there. So Stutzla would have a shorthanded breakaway, and he was stopped by Lindgren, so that was a big save there. There was a It was a kind of a sluggish start. There were a lot of stoppages, there were a lot of whistles. I'm thinking like, okay, this is good for the Sens because you're the road team, right? You want to slow it down, take the crowd out of it. So I'm like, okay, I'm not complaining. I kind of like this. Just take it, keep it nice and slow. Just keep it this way. And surely enough, it ended up paying off tonight, didn't it? So Dylan Cousins, that is, he goes flying around the defense and he draws a tripping penalty. It was close to a penalty shot. I think they made the right call here. I don't think it was a penalty shot. I don't think he was in the clear enough. So he did end up drawing a tripping penalty. So Washington's first shot did not come until about 8.5 minutes into the period, and it wasn't even much of a shot. It was a long slap shot. I believe it was by John Carlson. I put Carlson's name. Might be wrong about that. But it was just the defender, again, I think it was Carlson, but he just cleared the puck out from his end on the PK onto the net. Ullmark stopped it, so that counted as the first shot. 8.5 minutes in, so I'm like, this is a heck of a period for the Sens, man. Like the crowd's out of it. It's slow. There's not too much going on to this point, so this is looking pretty good. So Batherson would have a chance all alone out front. He took the puck from behind the net and went to the backhand, and this was a heck of a save by Lindgren. A huge save there, so that could have easily been 2-0. So the first actual shot for Washington came a little over 13 minutes into the game. So I'm like, and it wasn't much of a shot either. It was just a weak wrister from the point. I want to say it was Chychrun that took the shot. I might be wrong about that. But like, we're 13 minutes into the game and the Capitals have nothing going. So I'm like, this is great. This is amazing. Keep this going. So there was a one-timer for Perron all alone out front. Doesn't go in. That was a good chance. And then there was a huge hit by Wilson on Gregg. And then shortly after that, there was a huge hit on Leonard by Clevin. And then that led to a scrum. So I'm like, okay, here we go. Here we go. So I think there were some penalties that came out of that, I'm pretty sure. I didn't put that down, but I'm pretty sure there were penalties that came out of that play. So Wilson would take a pass. It was in his skates. He was all alone out front, like in front of the net. He didn't really get much of a shot. He didn't get a shot off at all. Or I think he did, but it missed. That's what I put. Yeah, it missed. So if the pass was a bit cleaner, he would have got a better shot off, of course, but nothing really came out of there. And yeah, so the shots in the first period were 8-4 in favor of Ottawa. So Washington had nothing going on. So I'm like, this is great. This is wonderful. Keep it up. And at this point, I knew the second period started pretty much at the exact same time Game 2 of the World Series started. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to really be able to watch a whole lot else besides this. So I really don't have any other notes. So what I'll do is I'll go through the scoring summary. So this is kind of funny though. So literally almost like right when Game 2 starts, like that first pitch, because of course I'm checking the Sens Capitals, the score on my phone, right? So I'm checking the score constantly, and I notice it's 2-0 Sens. So I'm like, okay, 3:27 into the second period, Shane Pinto scores yet again his 8th goal of the season. I haven't seen any of these goals except for one, which I will get to later. Um, so yeah, Shane Pinto scoring his 8th. It was unassisted, and it was 2-0 Sens. So I'm like, okay, hey, it's 2-0, but I'm watching the Blue Jays. And then a minute later, exactly 1 minute later, the Sens would make it 3-0. On the power play, Dylan Cousins scoring again from Drake Batherson and Tim Stützle at the 4:27 mark of the second period. That made it 3-0 Sens. So I'm like, oh, look at that, it's 3-0. And like, I'm watching it with, I'm not watching the Blue Jays game by myself, right? I'm watching with my dad, my brother, a couple of our buddies. So I'm like, hey, it's 2-0, hey, it's 3-0. Just, it's funny. You can't make it up. Like, the only game I don't watch, this is what happens. Just insane. So, yeah, the Sens would go up 3-0, and about less than 2 minutes later, the Sens would make it 4-0. Nick Cousins scoring his first of the season from Tim Stützle at the 6:22 mark. So I'm checking my phone again. I'm like, hey, it's 4-0 Sens. Just, so those 3 goals right there, they came in the span of, what is that, 2:55 it looks like? Just insane. And this was right after Game 2 started for the World Series. So I'm like, my God, what is happening over there? Now, of course, I was doing my best to flick back and forth between the games, and I did see little bits and pieces, but my goodness, that's just insane. So that was it for the second period. The Sens would go into the second intermission with a 4-0 lead. So, I mean, this is looking pretty great, right? So we go into the third period, and 55 seconds into the third period, the Sens have a power play, and this goal I did see. I did see this one, so I think I have some notes. Yeah, the only note here, I know that it was a rebound goal from Drake Batherson scoring his first of the season. Of course, Batherson did miss a few games at the start of the season, so Dylan Cousins getting another point. So Dylan Cousins and Claude Giroux getting the assist there, and I believe that was the assist that Giroux passed Daryl Sittler for on the all-time points list. So that's pretty cool. And the Sens, 55 seconds into the third period, have a 5-0 lead. And again, I'm watching the Blue Jays. Well, I saw this goal when it happened, but that was the only other goal I saw. So yeah, and again, I'm watching the Blue Jays, looking at the score on my phone, right? So I'm like, it's 5-0, dude. Like, wow, just wow. So the Capitals would end up scoring at the 5:04 mark of the third period. Trevor Van Riemsdyk scoring his first from Ryan Leonard and Nick Dowd, which would make it 5-1. So there goes the shutout bid, but I'm not too worried about it. So yeah, that was the only Capitals goal, of course. And then at the 9:47 mark, Thomas Chabot would score on the power play again, his second of the season from Claude Giroux getting another assist, and David Perron, and that made it 6-1 Ottawa at the 9:47 mark of the third. And then Drake Batherson would add another one, his second of the game and second of the season, at the 14:22 mark. Jake Sanderson and Artem Zub getting the assist on that. And that would make it 7-1 Ottawa, and that was your final. Like, man, oh man. I can't say much about the second or third period because I didn't watch a whole lot of it, but from what I did see, I did watch the whole first period. Washington, like, this was just a dominant win. Like 13 shots that, again, Washington had nothing going at all. Just this was amazing. Like, what more can you say? So I'll go through the 3 stars and I'll go through the box score stats. So the first star was apparently Nick Cousins, who had 1 goal. Interesting choice. Did he score the game winner? I don't think so. I'll check that in a second. Second star was Drake Batherson, had 2 goals and 1 assist. And the third star was Tim Stützle. He had 2 assists. Yeah, I wonder why Nick Cousins was the first star. Did he score the game winner? I don't think he did. No, he scored the fourth goal, so I'm not sure why he was named the first star. But we will look at the box score here. Let's go ahead and look at the Sens stats. So our point getters, there's a lot of them. So Drake Batherson and Dylan Cousins both had 2 goals and 1 assist. Yeah, Cousins had 2 goals and 1 assist, and he wasn't one of the stars, which is strange, but I'm not going to complain too much about it. Stutzla had 2 assists. Giroux had 2 assists. Perron had 2 assists. Pinto and Nick Cousins with a goal each. And on the defensive side, we got Zub with 2 assists, and Jake Sanderson with an assist, and Shabbat with a goal. The plus minus is interesting. So Nick Jensen somehow found a way to be -1 in a 7-1 victory. Artem Zub was a +4, which I would imagine probably led the team. Actually, yeah, the plus minuses are interesting. The only 2 players that were better than +1 was Zub, or no, sorry, I take that back. Zub was +4, Sanderson was +2, and Stutzla was +2. Everyone else was worse than +2, which again sounds weird in a 7-1 win, but there were quite a few power play goals too. Also, Curtis McDermott was a -1 as well. And yeah, so we'll go through some of the stats here. So leading the way in shots, Dylan Cousins had the most with 7 for the forwards. Defense, Nick Jensen had the most with 2. Block shots, most for defense was also Nick Jensen with 3. Most block shots for the forwards, we have a 4-way tie. So Nick Cousins, Dylan Cousins, Amadio, and Eller all had 2. And then for hits, not too many hits for the Sens tonight. So Nick Cousins and Perron leading the forwards in hits with 2 each. And then for the defense, only 3 hits in total for the defense tonight. But that didn't really matter, did it? So Clevin led the way there with 2 hits. And yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. So I know this video is probably going to be shorter. I tried to make it around the same length I usually do for these, but wow, I mean, I don't know if I gotta wear this jersey. Like, do I gotta wear this more often when the Sens play? But again, it's mixed emotions because the Sens had a dominant win tonight, but then the Blue Jays lose game 2, which, yeah, I'll be happy for the Sens, obviously, right? But yeah, just wow, just wow, just I can't get over that 7-1. And again, you look at the 13 shots against, just dominant special teams. This was without a doubt their best game of the season. I think it is safe to say that. And again, this was not against like a bottom feeding team. Like, this is Washington. They were 6-2 coming in. So, and again, that stat that I read off, Washington had given up 14 goals in 8 games coming into tonight. So yeah, just absolutely dominant performance tonight. But at the end of the day, I'm never going to get, like, you'll notice the thing with me, like, I'm never going to get, like, super, super duper excited over one game, because it is still just one game, right? Obviously, it's dominant. They're looking great. They've had a few really good games here back to back, and they got to keep this going. They have the momentum, and yeah, this is not much to complain about, right? I guess maybe not getting a shutout. That's about it. But yeah, it's yeah, again, mixed emotions. I know I keep saying that, but moving forward here, the Senators' next game will be on Monday, October 27th versus the Boston Bruins. It'll be the first meeting of the season between those two teams. And note the start time, it's going to be 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And same deal there, so I will watch as much of the game as I can, because of course Game 3 of the World Series is that same night, which I will be watching. That's going to take priority over the Sens. So again, I'll watch as much of the Sens game as I can. And yeah, the Sens they're looking pretty good lately over these last few games. They're back at 500, and we'll see if they can keep this going. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me, guys. One last thing before I wrap it up. Do look out for another standings review tomorrow. Of course, I do those every Sunday, so yes, do look out for that as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and go Sens go.